The woman discovered that the doll was pierced with needles, and her own name was written on it. To her, this was an incredibly vicious curse. Sula was furious and angry at this moment. She desperately tore at the servant, not understanding why the servant would do this to her. Suddenly, she realized that the servant couldn't write. Under her intense questioning, the servant finally revealed the true mastermind behind it all. Shockingly, it was her best friend. Reflecting on the past, Sula realized she had been too naive. Her family had gone bankrupt, and her father had died. Not only was she forced to drop out of school, but her stepmother also pressured her to marry a man in his 50s. This old man was the powerful Master Chen of the Chen household. Although she was proud and agreed to marry into the family, she didn't ride in the bridal sedan on her wedding day. Instead, she wore a student uniform with braided pigtails. Sula carried her suitcase and went to the Chen residence alone, walking dozens of miles. By the time she arrived, she was drenched in sweat. The butler didn't recognize her at first, but she introduced herself, mentioning that they had met once before. Hearing this, the butler quickly went to greet her. He led Sula, who was about to enter the household, into the main courtyard. Sula didn't know that entering the gates of the mansion was like diving into a deep sea. Just like that, the naive and innocent Sula began the tragic second half of her life. When Sula entered, she saw the servant doing laundry. She turned to help, telling the servant that everyone is free and equal. But when the servant heard that she was the fourth mistress, the servant snatched the clothes from her hands. The servant had always liked the master and wanted to be the fourth mistress herself. But as a servant, she never had the chance. Sula sensed her hostility and directly ordered the servant to put her suitcase in the room. She didn't indulge the servant's behavior towards her. This movie is called Raise the Red Lantern. Due to copyright issues, we can only show you this much. If you're interested, you can watch the original film.